Government Team, Ms. Urfi.
Maybe in the past I've done a mistake. I attend several peers in my environment. But it doesn't mean that I do not have the willing to change. That's why I demand my government to give me the option for recovering my reputation, for example, and also to actually gain this conditional pardon, even if I have to risk my life inside of the war, which somehow very unpredictable, which somehow in a split second I could be killed from my enemies. But I still actually undergo this mechanism because I have the interest to gain this conditional pardon for the sake of my reputation, for example. And we believe any kind of training, any kind of psychological stability training that I have undergone in my training system is going to be really worth it, even if it's somehow burdening me, but it can make sure that I can do the work in a very standardized mechanism in the international humanitarian law. That's why at the end of the day, my commander will see all the achievement of mine in the war, so at the end of the day, I can get my conditional pardon. Thus, the premise that every heinous crime prisoner is actually demanded in the first place. We cannot overgeneralize that all this prisoner is going to be really mentally unstable in the war. You cannot even overgeneralize that every single people will have a willingness to recurrence and go back again behind the bars after they are risking their back in the battlefield in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is somehow that they cannot even answer it in their every substantive speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, and they say that these people, these heinous crimes, is not even worth it to get this conditional pardon because it breaks the social contract, for example. We believe the social contract will not even suddenly change just because we have this option to the society, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that the sense of law, the sense of retribution is even worse in our proposal. There is no single significant rejections coming from the society as long as the sense of protections, as long as the sense of homeland security is being more imperative rather than any kind of rights. That's why we believe that the interest of the society still even works. So that's why it compromises any kind of these claims when they claim that we violate the sense of social contract in the first place. Now, any kind of harms that are portrayed coming from the paranoia is all coming from the assumption that suddenly this old people is going to be really mentally disabled, mentally unstable in the battlefield. We believe even if we have the chance to rebut this point, we're going to say that even all armies, even a normal armies, have the possibility to be mentally unstable inside of the war because of psychological pressure that they are even undergoing inside of the war. So we believe any people even have this tendency to be mentally unstable inside of the war. But what we can do is not ban them, but we have to enhance the commander to do and make sure that every people is going to be standardized inside of the war. If they're not mentally unstable, we're not going to let them in the battlefield in the first place. That's why we can make sure that these people is having the ability to be a very good combatant in the first place. We vote Obama for change. When Obama gives these options, doesn't necessarily our support to Obama is actually losing in the first place. We believe that the trust to Obama to protect our society is going to actually enhance even the trust for his presidency, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that they cannot even prove why maximizing every kind of tools is not even justifiable, it's not even worth it in the first place. They have to show us why giving these options is much more risky rather than the protection for and the terrorists in the first place. They have not even proved to us why this taxpayer money is not even worth it. We believe that any kind of policy which is related to taxpayer money always be led into the controversial that are part of the society which is disagree with one policy, that are part of the society who accept the policy. But at the end of the day, the government still pass the motions because we believe that the greater good will be the necessity to pass one proposal. Or moreover, ladies and gentlemen, for example, in the case of universal healthcare, the people who actually reject this universal healthcare, if it's still actually being violated because the taxpayer is allocated in the universal healthcare, but the government do not ban it, but the government still let it pass into the motion in the deliberations of any kind of the greater good. That's why we believe that in any kind of premise, giving our urgency to maximize our resource in terms of fighting the global war on terrorism is really worth it, even if we use this heinous crime in the first place. That's why we proudly beg you to propose. Thank you.